afternoon, it's Pamela from Yorkshire in the north of England, here to talk about crochet as per usual. Now today, still no actual finished item to show you, but I am on my way with Yen the reindeer. So that was the pattern from Wonderful World of Amigurumi. As you know, I pulled it out of my items to do tin, so that's her in her full glory. Now, I could have had it finished by now if I'd have cracked on with it, but I've sort of had a case of idolitis along with can't be bothered sort of thing going on. I'll tell you why. One of my bugbears, Julie at Casemon Crochets was saying on her latest video that her bugbear is, you know, doing into the back loops when you do slip stitches and such like. That isn't mine, but mine is amigurumis with really long thin legs and arms. My comfort zone for legs and arms is about 12 stitches. Now, I know what you'll say, Pamela, you've done loads of them, and that's true, I have, but they haven't all had such long legs. Not only that, now I've finished those, I've got the antlers to do as well, which the antlers will be very, very small. So it's just like knowing what's ahead of you, really. So when I've been doing these at the weekend and yesterday, I've only done like a few rows at a time, so just keep telling myself, you have a break from it now, but you know, you're still a few rows further on than you were before. So that's how I've had to view it all. So it's taken me days to do something that I could have had done, you know, in no time at all if I'd have just got my mind onto it. But I'm glad I've done it. I'm glad I've done it how it should be with the thin arms. But like I said, I prefer... I'm only doing this because I love the finished product. I love this finished one, so that's why we all do it, don't we? We make ourselves do things that we don't always want to do just because of that. So yeah, so she shouldn't be too far off now. It's just all details now. So that's that one. Still love Croquet's back patterns, by the way. Still like them. It's just you know, it's just not all bed of roses, is it, you know? Talking of Croquet's patterns, one lady was asking me, one of the subscribers was asking me how easy they are to do. Now, I find them very easy. Now, I think this lady uses the cross method, but I don't. I just use a normal stitch method. So doing that, I'm absolutely happy with them. Now, Cassandra touched on this on her latest video, that some of them, including the cat one that we've just done for the mushroom cat challenge for hashtag mix and match 2024, has got a squared off end, and that's true, some of her patterns do. The first time I encountered it was when I did the bear out of one of the other books I've got of hers, and I can't remember which one it is, but it's a lovely little bear with a striped jumper. And I did that quite early on in my crocheting, well, amigurumi journey. And at the time I struggled with it because I'd only just really, you know, got used to doing in the round, and you know how it worked for amigurumi. So I found it very odd to do with a starting chain and then work round the chain. But as you can see, I mean, you do get into it. I mean, like that to me now is as near perfect as you can get. And I do actually like it now. I like the fact that you can have some with a flatter face. You don't have to have a great big head, you know. So I do. And Cassandra was saying that she didn't like how to put the ears on. But it's like, it's how your brain works and the perception, isn't it? Because I actually find those really easy to put on. I think it's just down to the person. I'm sure all of you would agree. It's just down to the person and how your mind works with regard to amigurumi. I think that's actually, I like that. But having said that, most of the ones I do are in the round, and you don't need a flattish head, but it's not something that frightens me, and I don't think it should frighten you. These patterns I think are fairly easy to to follow. You just have these details, but a lot of amigurumi designers are like that, where they have thin arms and legs. You've just got to set your mind to it and do it, haven't you? No matter how long it takes you. Like me, it just took me days and days and days to finish arms and legs, which it shouldn't do. I mean, when I've done like, I think I've done about 6 rows at a time on the legs, and it's like 66 stitches. Well, 66 stitches is absolutely nothing, but when you're not enjoying the process, you know, but you just have to keep in your mind, but you're going to love her when she's finished. You're going to love her when she's finished. That's what I did. But yeah, I have no issues at all with Crochet's patterns. Like I say, as you'll have seen if you watch that Cassandra, she does have this sometimes to have a flatter head. She does a starting chain and you work around that. And I find that very easy now. The first one I did, that bear that I'm talking about, and I wish I could remember the book. I should have brought it out with me. But I kept losing count of the chains, you know, like I kept, as I was going round, I kept putting the wrong number in. And now it just seems to slip off the hook, you know. So I think it's just practice makes perfect with everything. So that's all I can say about her patterns, really. Don't let it put you off that she uses an odd method every now and again, you know. Now, this is for Cassandra, really. She was saying that she couldn't envisage a round hat fitting. As you can see, this is very round. Is this hat fitting on this amigurumi cat for the mix and match challenge 2024. So I'm just going to show again, just for the benefit of Cassandra, really, that mine does actually fit on perfectly well, and I'm sure Cassandra will be able to tell, and all of you. Once you've stuffed this mushroom mat, if you're going to stuff it, and stitch it round, you won't be able to tell that it's a round hat on a square head or an oblong head. It fits perfectly. And when I was looking at the pattern for the stitches around the head, I knew the bit where, roughly, where the hat would go is 48 stitches. And that's what you finish on with the mushroom, if I remember correctly. Let me just have a look. Let me sure I'm telling you. Right. So the mushroom, which that's the mushroom hat that I made from that pattern. Like I say, I'm still going to make that pattern to put this on. So the mushroom, finishing the mushroom. Yeah, it finishes on 48 stitches, which is about what it is around there where it goes. My issue with putting the mushroom on the head was that I didn't know how to get the holes in it, you know, to put the ears through. I had thought about at one place. I couldn't really decide though which place to do it, just to skip stitches along the length of a row, and then, you know, like just start working, you know, doing a chain and then working on the chain, so you had a slit in it. It's not the same as on the design for the mushroom cat, because that is showing us the ears coming out this way, you know, which I've no idea how you would do that in an ordinary army. I've no idea at all. But I could have done that way, and then, you know, like just make it long enough so it would go over the ears. But like I said to you when I was showing this pattern, I didn't want to have this cat with a permanent mushroom head on, so I decided by the time I got near the end that this was going to be just for the mushroom, but I was just going to finish it for the benefit of the challenge. But so yeah, I hope that's helpful, Cassandra. But if you can see on my mushroom, that would stitch down perfectly all the way around, and you'd never know it was a circle, a round shape on an oblong. I hope that helps people. I hope it's of use to somebody. Because you can do a lot with stitching on. You can make a lot of things fit as long as they're not too far out, which that isn't. Like I say, 48 stitches is about right to go around that area of the head. So I hope that helps somebody. Now, I have sad news now. I'm afraid to say that William the Hedgehog hasn't made it. I heard from the Hedgehog Rescue on Saturday that he'd passed away. All I can say is I know it's very sad, and they are an endangered species, but the poor little mite was obviously really ill. I I don't regret taking him away, because I'd rather him die there than dying alone, because he was obviously suffering. He wouldn't have been coming out during the daytime if he wasn't. And they reassured me that he was cosy and comfortable, surrounded by towels and what have you when he died. So that's your best you can hope for, that he died in a safe space. So yeah, unfortunately William hasn't made it, but I'm glad I gave him the chance. I'm glad they tried the best for him. All I can say to people is, if you're in UK and you see an hedgehog in trouble, try to help. Don't take it away straight away, because like you've got to be careful in case they've got little hoglets somewhere that's relying on them. But do get in touch with a rescue centre and find out what you should do, because we need to save everyone that we possibly can. I know I'm preaching, but this is one of my pet subjects, as you'll know if you've been watching me from the beginning. I care deeply about animals and wildlife, and we have to do all we can. I have a tip for driving at night, but you can only do it if it's safe to do so. But if you get an hedgehog at night that's going across your path, when you're in the car, you know that their first reaction is to curl up in a ball, and that's how come a lot of them get run over on the roads. If it's safe to do so, all I can say to you, and this works, is to stop, turn off your headlights, and that little mite will get moving and go on its way. We just need to do what we can to help hedgehogs and any wildlife, but I am so upset when I see hedgehogs squashed on the road. We have got to do something. We don't want to lose one of our national wildlife, you know, precious little wildlife, that such as, like, you know, red squirrels and what have you. But hedgehogs, they need our help. They're having to live in an urban environment because we've taken away a lot of what they would live on. They used to live in the hedgerows, in farming fields, and you know as much as I do probably how many of these fields are being built on. They're losing the homes. We've got to help what's left. Sorry for preaching, but that's how I feel. And if I can use this channel just to help a little bit with one of my subjects that I'm passionate about, I will do. Thank you for listening. Anyway, on a brighter note, we gave Brian his monkey, and he was suited with it. I'll put some pictures in if I can. I took a little, I think it's about 49 seconds is the video, and we're asking him about his, you know, what he thinks about the monkey and why he giggles really when he sees a monkey. I've took a little video, and I'm going to try and fit it in after this part here. If I can't, it'll be at the end of the video. So that's that. Then I've got another pattern off. This is Natasha's fault at Hooks and Stitches, because I saw she'd got it off. When I'm going to have time to make it, I don't know. But I've got the pattern for the crochet version of the emotional support chicken. So I need to see how much chunky yarn I've got for a start, or at least Aran weight, to see if I've got enough to do it. Otherwise I'll just do it in DK. But yeah, so that'll be on its way at some point. So yeah, I think I got it off Ravelry, but I didn't make a note of how much I paid, so sorry about that. There will be another Tutafant on the way. I've got some yarn for one, as you know, anyway, but I've also, I thought on my friend, a very good friend, she's having a grandson soon, and, well, in about a month, and I thought, well, a Tutafant's perfect, I think, for a baby and a child growing up. So we called at Hobbycraft on his way back from seeing Brian the other day, and what do you know, gone and bought some yarn. Now I wanted some blues to do it, and I think I've said before, Hobbycraft never ceased to disappoint me. I generally can't get what I wanted in there, and I either wanted some bright blues or pastel blues in a variegated, very soft acrylic. So that was my brief when I went in. The only one I could find that remotely met my brief was the Women's Institute Soft and Cuddly DK yarn, and it's a 50 gram ball, and it's 100% acrylic, and it does feel very soft and squishy. It is lovely to touch. So it's that one. It is exclusive to them at Hobbycraft, is that one. Now, what I don't like about Hobbycraft is, yeah, it looks like a bargain when you're getting 3 for 2 on balls, but I'm sure they put up the price of the individual ball to make up for it. So they want, for one 50 gram ball, they want £4.50. And I think that's ridiculous, because that is the same quality as like the other yarns that I buy to do babies' toys, you know, from Signet, King Cole, Starcraft, all them. And they're rarely more than £3.50 for a 100 gram ball. So I just think it's a bit of a rip-off. So anyway, I've got 3 of them for £9 because it was 3 for 2. So that makes it £3 a ball, which is still dear for a 50 gram ball, I think. But anyway, that's as it works out. But that was the closest I could get there in the colours, and that's what I'm peeved about, is that, you know, I don't seem to have the choice at my Hobbycrafts near me, and I also think they're overpriced. But I do appreciate that a lot of people like Hobbycraft, and that's fine if you like it, but I do get cross at them for that. So yeah, I've got them, and it's just classed as a blue mix, and I just think it's, like I say, it's a bit of a cheat really. But anyway, at least I've got some blues. It's not the preferred blue that I wanted. I wanted something either brighter or paler, but you know, you can't have everything you want, can you? So that'll be a total fan. So because I've had to buy 3 balls to get a fairly decent deal, I'll do the large total fan, you know, for the present. Whilst I was there, I've been meaning for a while, because when I did the cat, I noticed that, you know, like on this one, because it's a white cat, I think the yarn that I normally use for mouths and eyes, which is the 3rd Eye Happy Cotton DK, it looked a bit too thick for this one. Normally I'm quite happy with the finish I get from it, but I've bought to try some of this DMC thread. So this one I've got is Cotton Pearl. I don't know how much you get in it. Hang on. Does it say? No, it doesn't say, but it's a size 12 thread. So it's that one. So it's just like a thick cotton thread, really. You know, I don't know if it is cotton or if it's something else, but I thought it looked like it was cotton. Anyway, I'll give it a try for doing the eyes on, you know, things where the yarn I normally use sticks out a bit too much. I might have to double it actually. I'll just see how it works, but it's definitely easier than using a normal sewing thread anyway. It's a bit thicker than that, so I could double it and I'd probably get the desired effect. But I shall show you when I next use it. Probably on this one actually, because she's got eyelashes to have, so probably on that one. In fact, I'll show you. I have used the eyes on it. I'm not going to tell you everything that's in it for now, because I'll do that when I've finished it. Just show you the eyelashes. Yes, she's got some quite fine eyelashes on this one, so I think that'll be the good place to try it actually. So that's that. I think that's everything I wanted to tell you. So sorry I haven't got anything finished really to show you, but I hope there's a little bit of content you like there. If any of it's not interesting to you, please just skip through. Like I say, if you don't want to see Brian and his monkey, or you don't want to see me rambling on about cookies patterns, you know. I don't know whether I'll be back on tomorrow or Thursday, because tomorrow I've got cinema. We're going to senior screening again. We're watching a film called Sweet Caroline. Looks like it's a crime comedy, a bit like your Home Alone types, you know, along those lines where it's a bit farcical. Thursday I've got a treatment in Leeds for my usual treatment for osteopathy, you know, to keep my joints flowing. And Friday I'm going to a new place in Leeds for breakfast with 2 of my friends. been wanting to go for ages. It's called Moose's. I don't know if you'll have heard of it, but basically they do great breakfast. So I'm looking forward to going there. But if no other time, I shall be back on Friday afternoon, and hopefully I'll have finished Madam here. But she'll be grand when she's finished, and I'll forgive her everything about her silly long limbs. I don't know, how do you feel about long limbs? I mean, like I say, once they're dressed and everything, they look absolutely great, but, you know, anyway. They do look bizarre at times, don't they, some of these things we create, but, you know, it comes together in the end. Anyway, so that's me for now. Take care of yourselves. Have a happy rest of the day, whatever you choose to do, and I'll see you. Hang on, people want to know what you think of your monkey.
You love it, Pamela.
You love it?
Yeah? I love it, yeah.
And what do monkeys do? Yeah. They do, they do.
Yeah.
And like it. And what did they do to you once when you went to Safari Park? What did they do to the car?
Car.
Yeah.
Stood on it.
They stood on it.
Stood on it.
I thought they ripped the windscreen wipers off.
Oh, minibus.
Yeah, minibus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
But you thought it was funny, didn't you?
Yeah.
And are you happy for everybody to see you talking about monkeys?
Yeah.
All right then.